Attachment is the root of all suffering. Practice detachment and you will never be hurt. Detach yourself from materialistic ideas and goals in your physical life and you'll find freedom. No amount of money or possessions can truly make you happy. True happiness comes from within. Look at your mind and find the answers.
I smoke Cali, man, don't air me. I won't stop until I get a mirror. See that face, I'm rocking polo. Knew that I could take it, man, I done it on my dolo. Nigga, you was vaping, I was really on my solo. Bitches wanna shake it, I will never hold a holdo. Knew that I would make it, now we really living good. Flying packs, now I fly a spaceship through the hood. No chances, leave no traces, Clouds Valley and the snood. I never fuck her if she's basic, make her tense out the wood. Come up so hasty, faster than the car goes. I was never lazy, they say that I can't blow. How I used to make P, grab and clear the cargo. Told my nigga Casey, I'ma take it far, bro. Only smoke straight green, cause I'm healthy. I swear money was the only thing to help me. I was in the slums, but my mindset was wealthy. And this ain't spice, only smoke the top shelf cheap. Honey's on me, now the honey's on me. It's what I'm popping.
What's up, It's your boy, Equivocal Inception Mystic, Keith Theric, Intuitive Insight, Kyrese Curran, Archangel Gabriel, Shepherd Donovan, Leroy Sun, Regulus Muno, Cremini, Verba, Rising, Immortal Soul, Enlightened Being, 369 Res, Anti-Disestablishmentarianist, Starseed, stand up! Here to deliver you deep, esoteric, divine knowledge, intellectual wisdom, and intelligence in a way that can be understood by all ages. Now, I don't care if you're big or small, short or tall. Now, I don't care if you're old or young, boring or fun. Now, I don't care if you walk or run, snow or sun. Let's get to it. Peace and love to you all. Welcome back. I wish you guys the best. I wish you guys have been doing good on your journey, man. I've just been giving you some time to soak in the knowledge you know, to keep going over the task, keep repeating it, and make sure you're able to do this last task from week 3 before you're moving on. So I'm just giving this again. You guys should have all been able to do the tasks from week 1, 2, and 3. By now, you should be good at it. If not, just keep practicing. It don't mean everyone should be good at it, but for those of you ready to move on, I'm talking to you. You should already be perfected the task, and you should have already mastered it. So for some people, 1 week is enough. For some people, they can do it quicker, and for some people, they need more time. So I'm just saying, you gotta have completed it and be comfortable with the last week before you do this week. If not, keep watching it, keep repeating it, and once you're ready, then you can move on to week 4. So here we go. Week 4, cause. This is what I'm talking about. 4 is energy, and this part I'm gonna show you why what you think or do or feel is an indication of what you are. So 4 is energy, and energy is power. And it is because all of the religions, science and philosophies with which the world has been familiar with has been based upon the manifestation of this energy instead of the energy itself. So the world has been limited to the effects while the causes have been ignored or misunderstood. For this reason, you have God and the devil in religion, positive and negative in science, and good and bad in philosophy. But these are more or less representations of the same thing, just with different labels. So we are not interested in the effects. We are only interested in the cause. And I'm giving this to you so you can secure yourself health, harmony, abundance, and whatever else you wish to manifest in your life to gain welfare and happiness. So we find the cause to these things. Life is expressive, and it's our opportunity to express ourselves harmoniously and constructively in this life. Sorrow, misery, unhappiness, disease, poverty are not necessary, and we find ways to constantly and consistently eliminate them by conscious thought. Rather than getting the causes of life affected on us, we become causes. Every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. So we find a process of eliminating and rising above beyond any limitation of any kind. I say your only limit is doubt. He who has strengthened and purified his thought need not concern himself about microbes, And he who has come into an understanding of the law of abundance will go at once to the source of supply. It is thus that fate, fortune, and destiny will be controlled as readily as a captain controls his ship or engineer his train. I'm the captain of my soul. I'm the captain of my soul and the master of my fate. Hear that again. I'm the captain of my soul, the master of my fate, yo. And power in statement right there. So let's go. Week 4, reversing the process. Week 4, from cause to effect. Week 4, cause. So we're going to be talking about this. Hey guys, ready? Week 4, let's go. So I'm just going to take a second. Make sure you stay hydrated, eh? Let's go. Week 4. 4. The eye of you is not the physical body. That is just an instrument which the eye uses to carry out its purposes. The eye cannot be the mind because the mind is simply another instrument that the eye uses to think, reason, and plan. So the eye must be something larger, beyond, which controls and directs both the body and the mind. So we have the physical body, we have the mental mind, and then we have the spiritual spirit. Something which determines what we shall do or what we shall or how people shall act. So when you come into a realization of the true nature of the eye, you're going to enjoy some sense of power which you may not have never even have known before. So once you become conscious of this, it's like a whole new realm of power side. You realize things that was out of your awareness before, so you've unlocked these new abilities and you can be aware and perceive things that you never even thought was possible. So when you say I think, the I tells the mind what it shall think. When you say I go, the I tells the physical body where it's going to go. But the real nature of the I is spiritual, and it's a real source of power which comes to men and women when they come into a realization of their true nature. So the greatest and the most marvelous power, which is this I, has been given the power to think, but few people know how to think constructively or even correctly. So they achieve only indifferent results. Most people allow their thoughts to their own selfish purposes, and then the result is infantile mind. So when a mind becomes mature, it understands that the germ of every defeat is in a selfish thought. So the trained mind knows that every transaction must benefit every person who is in a way connected to the transaction, and any attempt to profit by the weakness, ignorance, or necessity of another individual will inevitably operate to his disadvantage. So we cannot manipulate anybody, we can't try to deceive people. Any result to do that will only backfire on the individual trying to use that in the first place. So this is basically karma. This is because the individual is a part of the universal. It's not like the police or a law. With the laws of the universe, you can't avoid it, yo. You're part of the universe. Whether you are conscious of it, whether you pay attention to it, whether you ignore them or not, they're still working. Like, it's not like the police, you can do a crime and get away with it. No, bro. You cannot escape the universe when you're inside the universe, my nigga. It's like, come on, man, bro. I don't make the rules. I just tell you them, bro. I don't make the rules. A part cannot antagonize any other part. But on the contrary, the welfare of each part depends upon the recognition of the interest of the whole. So if you want to help yourself, you've got to help others. And those who recognize this principle have a great advantage in life. They don't wear themselves out. They can concentrate on the highest possible good to the highest possible, the greatest possible good to the greatest possible number. They don't waste time upon objects and things and people, places and things that don't have any benefit to them. So if you can't do these things, it's because you haven't made the efforts. Now it's time to make the effort. The result will be exactly in proportion to the effort expended. So the exact amount of effort that you put in is going to be what you get out. One of the strongest affirmations that you can use for this purpose is, I can be what I will to be. I use this affirmation a lot. When you're saying this, you're basically saying, I can be what I will to be. So whatever you want to be, is whatever you're willing to do. Whatever you want to be is what you make yourself. So I say this: I can be what I will to be. And you say this 3 times, 6 times, or 9 times, as many times as you want to. Every time you repeat this and you keep saying it over and over again, I can be what I will to be. I can be what I will to be. I can be what I will to be. You start to realize the true nature of this I, and you come to understand of who this I really is. You're becoming invincible because you are not the body, you're not the mind. You realize the I is something bigger than that, and the purposes are constructive and therefore in harmony with the creative principle of the universe. So make use of this affirmation. Use it continuously, night and morning, day and night, as often as you would like in the day as you think. As soon as you think of it, use it until it becomes a part of you. Form the habit of using this affirmation. I can be what I will to be. Just repeat it over and over again. Whenever you get reminded, whenever you think of anything spiritual, mental, physical, whenever you think of anything on a higher dimension, repeat this affirmation. I can be what I will to be. Whenever you think of something to do with these videos or something to do with you, what you've learned from me or meditation, anything like that, repeat this statement. I can be what I will to be. And don't just say it mindlessly. Say it with emotion and actually think and analyze what am I actually saying here, and try and understand who is the I. Unless you do this, don't even start at all. Like, you might as well just stop watching my videos, because when I'm giving you a task, you gotta do it. It's part of this schedule. It's part of getting through. It's part of coming up to a higher dimension, and it's part of improving our mental, physical, and spiritual skills. Because modern psychology tells us when we start something and do not complete it, or make a resolution and do not keep it, we're forming the habit of failure. Even me, I don't start something and not complete it. So even though it might have taken me 2 weeks to get this video out, I'm gonna bring this other video as well. So it's not like I started my habit and quit. No, I've made a commitment to you guys, so you also make a commitment to me. So if you do not intend to do a thing, don't even start. So if you don't intend to watch the full video, don't even watch the start of the video. It's pointless, yo. You're not gonna get you can, if you want to, skip through and you'll get some little bits of knowledge and some little facts, but there's no point really of watching this and not seeing it through to the end. If you do not intend to do a thing to the end, don't even start. And if you do start, see it. Even if the heavens fall, we're gonna get this shit through hell or high water. If you make up your mind to do something, do it. Let nothing, let no one, no soul on this earth, no one interfere. The I in you is determined. The thing is settled. When you say your mind to something, you're gonna do it. If you say you give your word to something, your promise is as good as gold. The die is cast. There's no longer any argument. If you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. And if you carry out this idea, start small, yo. Yard by yard is hard, inch by inch is a cinch. If you carry out this idea with small things, which you know you can control, and gradually increase the effort, but never under any circumstances allow your I to be overruled. You establish yourself. You will find that you can eventually control yourself. And many men and many women in this world, in this society, on this earth, many men find it's easier to control a kingdom than to control themselves, yo. There's a lot of people who can't control themselves. So once you get the power of controlling yourself, if you want to change the world, you got to start with yourself first. So when you have found yourself, you have found a world within which controls the world without. You have become irresistible. Men and things will respond to your every wish without any apparent effort on your part. It's not strange or impossible as it may appear when you remember that the world within is controlled by the I, and the I is a part or one with the infinite, which is a universal energy or spirit, usually called God. This is not a statement or theory made for the purpose of confirming or establishing an idea, but it is not a mere statement or theory. It is a fact which has been accepted by the best religious thought as well as the best scientific thought. Amid all the mysteries by which we're surrounded, nothing is more certain than that we are ever in the presence of an infinite and eternal energy from which all things proceed. Herbert Spencer. Lehman Abbott, in a address delivering before the alumni for Bangor Theological Seminary, said, "We are coming to think of God as dwelling in man rather than as operating on men from without. Quote. Science goes in a long way in its research and stops. Science found ever-present eternal energy, but religion finds the power behind its energy. Science search and it comes to an end. Science finds questions with no answers, but religion finds the power behind this energy and locates it within man. But this is by no means a new discovery. Even the Bible says the exact same thing. Just plain. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the living God? Here then is the secret of the powerful creative power of the world within. Here's the secret power of mastery. To overcome doesn't mean to go without. Self-denial is not success. We cannot give unless we get. We cannot be helpful unless we are strong. The infinite is not bankrupt. We live in an abundant universe. So there should not be bankrupts inside this abundant universe. It does not really make sense. And if we wish to be of service to others, we must give it as much as we shall wish to receive it. So we have to be of service. If you want to make money or if you want to be successful, you have to be of service to others. You have to help others. You have to provide a service. You have to provide value. The more we give, the more we shall get. We must become a channel that the universal can express activity. The universal is constantly seeking to express itself, to be of service, and it seeks the channel whereby it can find the greatest activity, where it can do the most good, where it can be the greatest service to mankind. The universal cannot express through you as long as you're busy with your plans, your own purposes. You've got to quiet the senses, seek inspiration, focus on the mental activity within, dwell in the consciousness of your unity with omnipotence. Still water runs deep. Still water runs deep. Contemplate on the multi opportunities that you have spiritual access to by the omnipresence of power. Visualize the events, circumstances, and conditions that these spiritual connections may assist you in manifesting or even materializing. Realize the fact the essence of the soul of all things is spiritual. The quintessence is spiritual, and the spiritual is the real, because it is the life of all that is. Everything has a spirit. When the spirit is gone, the life is gone. It is dead and it has ceased to exist. So for all of you say spiritual is fake or it's fantasy, no, bro. If you understand what spirit means, really, spirit precedes the physical. So the spirit comes before and it creates life. When the spirit is gone from something, the life is gone. If you have no spirit, if your spirit is dead, then you're dead. When the spirit leaves the body, the life is gone. It's dead. It's ceased to exist. So when you die, it just means you're not living anymore. So that means the spirit is gone. These mental activities pertain to the world within, because the world of cause is what we're speaking about, and conditions and circumstances which are only the effect of the cause. So it's thus we become a creator. This is important work, and the higher, the more grander, the noble and more honorable, and the more truthful the ideas you can conceive, the more important the work will become. Overwork becomes overplay, and over bodily activities of any kind produces conditions of mental stagnation, which makes it impossible to do the more important work, which results in a realization of conscious power. We should therefore seek the silence frequently. Silence is power. Power comes through repose. It is the silence in which we can be still, and when we are still, we can think. And it's thought that is a secret of all attainment. Thought is a mode of motion that's carried by the law of vibration, same as the law of light or electricity. It's all about how you vibrate. It is given vitality by the law of emotions, by the law of love. So it takes form and expression by the law of growth. It's a product of the spiritual eye. Hence, it is divine, spiritual, and creative nature. From this is evidence that in order to express power, abundance, or any other constructive process, the emotions must be called upon to give the feeling to thought, and so that it will take form. How may this purpose be accomplished, you ask? This is the vital point. How may we develop the faith, courage, the feeling which result in this accomplishment? The reply is by exercise. Same as you go to the gym, same as you work on any technique, same as you work on any skill, mental strength is secured in exactly the same way that physical strength is secured, by exercise. We think something, perhaps with difficulty the first time. We think the same thing again and becomes easier. Repetition, repetition, repetition. We think it again and again and again, then it becomes a mental habit. We continue to think the same thing and finally it becomes automatic. We can no longer help thinking a thing. We are now positive of what we think. There is no longer now any doubt in it. We are sure. We know that we know. And we know that we know that we know. So last week I told you to relax, to let go physically. This week I'm going to ask you to let go mentally. So if you've given the time, or if you had taken the time to practice the exercise given to you last week for 15 or 20 minutes a day in accordance to the instructions, you can no doubt now relax physically. And anyone who cannot do this consciously, quickly, completely, instantly, and balance himself is not a master of himself, and he has not obtained freedom. He is still a slave to his conditions. So you need to go back and keep trying the last week. Nothing to do with ego. This is the spirit. If you cannot accomplish this, keep going. Exercise, exercise, exercise. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Try again. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. So practice makes perfect. But anyone who can't do this, you're not a master of yourself. You have not attained freedom. You're still a slave to your conditions. So this week, I'm going to tell you, let go mentally. I'm going to assume now that you've mastered the exercise and you're ready to take the next step, which is mental freedom. This week, after taking your usual position, remove all the tension by completely relaxing. Then let go mentally of any negative conditions, any emotions such as anger, hatred, worry, jealousy, envy, sorrow. Let them go. Trouble, disappointment, let it go. You might say you can't let go of these things, but you can. If you can't do it, you're weak. You're not strong enough. You have to make an effort, more of an effort. It is possible. You can do so by mentally determined to do so, by voluntary intention and persistence. The reason that someone can't do so is because they allow themselves to be controlled by the emotions instead of the intellect. But the will, guided by the intellect, will gain the victory. You will not succeed for the first time, but if you try, practice makes perfect. In this, as everything else, you must succeed in dismissing and eliminating, completely destroying these negative doubts, destructive thoughts, because they are the seed which is germinating discordant thoughts, which every conceivable kind can create more negative loss leads to loss. There's nothing truer that the quality of thought which correlates certain externals in the outside world. This is the law from which there is no escape, and is the law. This is the correlative of the thought that with its object that from time immemorial has led the people to believe in special providence. What is this thought? Thought is spiritual energy. How is it carried? It's carried by the law of vibration. How is it given vitality? By the law of love. How does it take form? By the law of growth. What is the secret of its creative power? It is a spiritual activity. How may we develop the faith, courage, and enthusiasm which will result in accomplishment? By recognition of our spiritual nature. What is the secret of power? Service. Why is this so? Because we get what we give. What is the silence? A physical stillness. Of what value is it? Is the first step to self-control and self-mastery. So in week 5, we're going to be talking about the creative mind. So for this week, your task is to let go mentally. If you cannot do it, keep trying. Sit in your normal position as before. Let go of your body physically. And now you're going to let go mentally. Any negative thoughts, any angry thoughts, any bad thoughts, just let them go. Breathe in with abundance. Out with gratitude. Breathe in with peace. Out with stress. Breathe in with positivity. Out with positivity. Out with hate. Out with negativity. So, I'm going to say this. Peace and love to you all. I love each and every single one of you unconditionally. I wish you the best in life. I honestly, deeply, gratefully, and truly, honorably wish you and each and every single one of you an authentic abundance of wealth, abundance of health, abundance of freedom, abundance of love, abundance of inspiration, abundance of intuition, abundance of prosperity, abundance of success, abundance of joy, abundance of fulfillment, abundance of satisfaction, and abundance of spiritual sovereignty upon your entire bloodline of ancestors and descendants. You are divinely protected. Peace and love to you all. Have a good day. I hope you get along well with this task. I hope you have a good week, and I'm going to be releasing another video soon. Peace!